light bill is going to get cheaper. Your mortgage is going to get cheaper. For if you used to say pay $200 or $300 for mortgage, by the time it go down, each time it cut down, you save more. But locally, it don't send directly because those goods and services still quote in US dollars. So people are going to put up the markup. So when the dollar slide and somebody send $100 come here, in a real sense, you may get more in terms of Jamaican currency, but you buy less. So we have to understand the old economics. And that is what the government is not doing. It's not telling the people, and it's not telling the people the truth. So much is happening. When you look and see the amount of earthquake and all of them, something that will take place, and you want to say, no, sir, never in the East, we ever have all of them or something here, because the labor right government is lying. Them they're busy on the sea floor and a dig and a dig and a dig and a trouble and a mess with the Titanic fault line, for we are in the dire strait of the earthquake, like 80. So when them dip on the ocean floor and a search island, a blast, and that's why we have so much tremor. Up to yesterday we have one tremor, one little beanie earthquake. And you come with the nonsense and I come and talk about nuclear. In a time like this where people afraid of nuclear and I move towards natural energy, solar and wind and even waste to energy, which means to say you get the natural gas on the dump side. You're talking about nuclear. How many people forgot about what happened in 2011 and the older one them in 1980? Not even grass grow there. So for when they talk about nuclear energy and when they talk about, yes, it's a clean energy, but how you store the waste, or you store the reactor, or you store the fuel rod, because you have to keep on a pump it, you know. It's like we don't have the diesel station down at Wolaba, and you have to put the fuel in the night, and the fuel keep the generation out, the generate electricity. And when the gas done, you're not going to be able to generate now. Well, it's the same thing. The nuclear fuel rod is what keep the nuclear going. But here you put the waste. Here you put the waste. And when you talk about a nuclear plant, you have to have it under militarized or something what guarded, you know, just have a nuclear plant like we have JPS in the open now, then look a substation and nobody now watch it. No. Because nuclear plant is a bomb. What about if for some reason or the other, them can't catch Uncle Sam and them say, all right, Jamaica and them are allies. What do you think? They're going to have a soft target. They're going after it. You will never see a nuclear energy plant at Jamaica. Never. Because when you take a stock, you have to weigh the risk factor. You have to look at it. You understand? Having a nuclear plant here, what is the cost in terms of maintaining it? Right? And we don't good at maintenance. We don't good at maintenance because presently we have our own road and infrastructure and everything, and we take a stock, it deteriorate in a no time because of a lack of maintenance. Then a nuclear will go monitor. I have the art. You know, so this Prime Minister has suffer from delusion or early stage of dementia. I talk about people who come and talk about the nuclear bath and nuclear this and nuclear that. That man is a madman now. Work on the ecotourism what we have here. We have so much things in the hospitality industry we want to fix. Our craft market out here, the vendor, them are dead. Weeks upon top of weeks. Some of them never sell not even one carving and nothing at all. Work on that. The whole of the residents now come from all over the world and come here. You believe them glad for cock up in the hotel? Them prefer the European style where they go out there and dine with the locals and all sort of thing. Work on it. Work on it. How we can be able to get the tourism to come in at the community and come spend with the community shops and bar without being harassed. Work on that. You will reach a nuclear. How much people in the world love them type of madness there? But radiation tourism. You ever seen anybody that said cancer tourism? Tell the people the truth, man. You have failed the Jamaican people. You promised us 4 in 5. You promised us we sleep with the window with door open. And you thief so much money and have one on a pocket and you expect to get away with it and we forgot about it like a 9-day wonder. Eh? 2 different type of Jamaica. Two set of Jamaica. The haves and the haves not. The ordinary worker right now don't have $500 in their bank account. The $100, the $500 are left to keep the account open. If you can manage to take it out, you don't take it out. People can't buy food, and that is what Andrew Holness feel to resonate with the people them. You want people to just forget about them sorrows, forget about the economic hardship, forget about the suffering and the struggle which is real, and talk about shower labor right, 3rd term, and this is your term. So why that do the first 2 terms? Don't buy night. Sit down and talk to your neighbor. Ask the neighbor and said, are your life better off than in 2016? Sooner or later, when they take a stock, we have a nation of sick people because they're unable to eat properly. And I am sorry for those who have right now have immune system which is compromised and they have to follow up with the proper eating of diet, fruits and vegetables. I don't know how. I don't know how they are surviving. People who are on dialysis, kidney machine. Those who are on dialysis and kidney machine and have to get treatment at 50 and 45,000 per treatment twice weekly. Plus them have in one specialized wheelchair. Plus them have to eat. Jesus Christ. Look how much people are suffering from cancer. And when this man come and bring the nuclear, anyway the plant there, if I have 2 miles out the radiation seep out, so sooner or later nobody no left here. Him thief up enough money so him can go up on the Mars and he can go in and follow Elon Musk and the whole of them and go up on Mars and the whole of them go live. Because a narcissist don't think nothing but himself and think about him own family. That's all him do. Jesus of help us. Look at Northwest St. Elizabeth. For over 40 years, them have voted for Labour right down there. And J.C. Hutchinson with him own mouth. So all them work for and all them work is $5,000 and a box lunch. No road, no development, nobody interested in terms of training and opportunity for the youths. Nobody. But you can't expect better from a labor right. You can't expect better from a labor right. Once you say education, if you want a labor right to run up and down, you call one and tell him to read something. The labor right not business about human development. Them only business about them own self so them can go in and go thief. The whole of them in the parliament are thief, disregard law, disregard order. Them a business with nothing. When you look on the development and the whole earthquake and all sort of thing, and the minister of the art, I come tell you straight up, say adopt a story. And him know within himself, say, him go up a St. Andrew, up a Jack's Hill, earlier in the week, Hope Garden flood out. What caused it? Because you go up there and you move the whole of the topsoil and you can build pan limestone and build much in multi-story without approval. That's the one Daryl Vaz him. and build pan fault line. Any little tremor, any little earthquake, all of them, the building them build up, I go tumble down. And then now you're going to tell people about third term. And when people build one house and they come with no plan, and they come and they lick it down. And them know within themselves the isle is here.
United Oil and Gas hold 100% equity in the 22,400 square kilometre high-impact Walton Moorant licence, which covers much of the offshore area south of Jamaica. This is a truly world-class exploration licence with an excellent data set already in place thanks to the significant investment made to date. The licence holds material prospectivity with the high...
Tap up the stream, comrades, so the algorithm and the live won't freeze up. Because it worked out for two ways. Either giving gifts, I keep the screen keep tapping up. We not come here for beg nobody, nothing. We come here for keep the message out there and make the people them go on. Taps are free. Keep it going, comrades.
Graded Calibri prospect, independently estimated to hold over 400 million barrels of mean recoverable resources. Beyond Calibri, the potential for nearly 7 billion barrels mid-case recoverable resources is recognised across additional prospects and leads identified on the licence. The licence also benefits from a supportive host government. With a 2-year licence extension now secured, there is an opportunity to join United in completing a low-cost work programme aimed at providing the final de-risking ahead of committing to an exploration well with the potential to unlock close to $20 billion of value. So, why do we believe that Jamaica is such a good place for exploration? Over $40 million of investment to date has delivered a high-quality data set, which has helped de-risk the identified prospectivity. This data set has also confirmed the presence of the frontier-scale rewards potentially available. When we talk about the difference the data makes, you don't need to be able to interpret seismic to see the significant improvement.
Want to see why we have so much earthquake? Want to see why we have so much tremor? You saw the people them say they spend over 14 million pounds for exploration, and them feel good because the prospectors have returns, or them can get much in billion barrel of oil, and this big nose man on your Daryl Vaz come and talk about nothing no go so. So we are going to show you the correlation. I'm wanting to type on the screen if you know the history of Jamaica, we ever see so much earthquake, one after the other. Because of what? They're busy haul boat underground in the sea floor and have messed around with the fault line and dig up on a search isle. So every minute you're going to have a tremor. And the government hide it.
What can be revealed in the subsurface? The figures on the right show the uplift in image quality from vintage to recent data. This uplift gives us the ability to confidently map prospects, identify amplitude brightening events, and detect evidence of fluid migration. In any underexplored area, the key starting point has always been the presence of a viable source rock. In Jamaica, we see plenty of direct evidence for source rocks and migrated hydrocarbons in the form of outcrops. Hydrocarbon shows in...
In Jamaica, them say a whole heap of prospectors, when them can't get on the sea floor, them are going to go in at the rock. So that's why we have so many earthquakes from the start of this year. We have about 6 or 7 earthquakes, and up to since week we have one. And we have a government who is not truthful. We have a government who is not telling the people that United Oil and Gas sign an agreement with them. And so far, the people spend over 14 million pounds. I explore and I dig and I look. And them say, based off of what them see in terms of them prospectors and then looking and them finding, it look good. And when them add it all up, 20 billion barrels of oil.
Previously drilled wells, onshore and offshore oil seeps, and slick anomalies identified from satellite imaging. This ties in with what we would expect to see based on extensive regional studies, which show that Jamaica was well placed for the development of key Cretaceous source rocks, similar to those seen across the prolific basins of northern South America, as well as evidence for the presence of mature source rocks and migrated hydrocarbons. There is also compelling evidence for the presence of all the other play elements needed for a commercial discovery. The fact that the island of Jamaica was only recently uplifted and eroded means that onshore rock outcrops can tell us valuable information about their offshore equivalents. As a result, we have far more information about the subsurface of the offshore. Very encouragingly, we have been able to identify and map excellent examples of source rocks, reservoirs.
Yeah, what the people say? Very encouraging. And you now get up and spend 14 million US dollar and talk about your drill and a look. If the prospectors and the findings never good, you don't stop. For you spend the first million and you dig 1 and 2 places, and when you look and say, "Cho, it don't make no sense because no island there," you're gonna stop. So that's why we find that we have this massive earthquake. Every minute you have an earthquake, you have a tremor. Every minute. And they're not telling the Jamaican people the truth.
And seals. We therefore have lots of evidence that all the play elements needed are present in the offshore basins. From the recent seismic data, we can also see that there are numerous large structures present, giving us material prospects and excellent follow-on potential should there be an initial drilling success. The independently assessed and drill-ready Calibri prospect contains over 400 million barrels of recoverable oil in a mean case scenario, with an upside case of nearly 1 billion barrels. Gaffney Klein completed a review of just 11 of the identified prospects and leads on the license, which estimated a combined mean resource potential of 2.4 billion barrels. Additional prospectivity identified on legacy data and not included in the Gaffney Klein review suggests there could be over 7 billion barrels potential across the license. So clearly a prize well worth going after. The Walton Moore...
You hear? You hear what the BBC say? Clearly a prize worth going after. So why is it that government not telling us the truth? Why is it that Andrew Holness is not telling us the truth? Why not tell us that the prospectors are finding island of Jamaica is real and the present has a start right and how the drilling start? Come clean up. Come clean. Because the truth of the matter is, if oil is found on the island and when you take a stock, we have a 50-50 agreement with them. I say, all right, you keep 50 and you give it 50, right? It can lift Jamaica out. Just like how Ghana in the 70s and the 80s, we used to laugh off of Guyana. You, Blair, and others can tell you. Back in them days there, in the 80s, when one brother sell a Jamaica for $1.70 at $200 feet of Guyana. Look at Guyana today.
Current license also benefits from very favorable fiscal terms. There is a production sharing agreement in place that has excellent cost recovery mechanisms and which equates to a government take of around 40%. This compares very favorably to other countries in the region and indeed globally. Drilling costs for...
You hear? Daryl Vass say, not no go so, and the BBC just talk a while ago, say, the government agree if it take 40%. Why them couldn't put it at 50? 50-50, nothing wrong with that because you are coming with the equipment and you're going to drill it and you're going to process it, right? But at least 40 not bad because in compared to some country, and that are the standard. But tell us, tell the Jamaican people, why is it that it's a dopey story? Why is it the Jamaican people have been left in the dark? Why take people like me and others to go dig it up and tell people, say, the prospectors are finding oil in Jamaica so we can lift our country out of the depths and the degradations? Why we have to keep on a search and everything we have to dig up and a find? Everything a secrecy. 70 people dead last week and nobody don't know except for the bloggers them on the internet put it out there and make people know. All along, we the comrades have been saying this, that the economy is not growing and a makeshift and a voodoo economy. And see come out to light now because Wayne Henry can't hold it no more. The economy shrink by 2.8%, mining down 15%, the Jamaican dollar lost 5% of its value, remittance down by 10%. Tourism down by 9%. Commercial bank, Sagicor lose 40% of them revenue because they're not making enough money because there is no disposable income. We think also saw a decline in profit. And when you look, you see tourism worker left, right, and center strike, and then on a union, enough is enough, and then the business, anything and anything. That to try show you, comrades, the country is heading in the wrong direction. And if we lose and go down in a further decline in the next quarter, clearly, for how the economy work, you know. Second consecutive quarter no growth, you call it a technical recession. And if you have 3 consecutive quarter a negative growth, then the economy becomes soft and it's going into a recession. And when you have a recession is not good because you got to hold back and it's going to have a rippling effect with every single one of us. The government is not talking the truth. The government is not clean.
An initial well on the Calibri prospect have been independently estimated at $30 million, so a relatively low drilling cost, but with substantial potential returns possible. Perhaps not surprisingly, given the size of the prospects identified, the success case economics are excellent. On a standalone basis, Calibri's mean case would generate an NPV of nearly $4 billion, with de-risked follow-on basin-wide potential approaching $20 billion. United was awarded a 2-year extension in January 2024 on the basis of a focused, cost-effective...
Yeah, when United get the contract? Comrades, January 2024. Yeah, when United get the contract for do the exploration for find out if oil they here, January 2024. And so far they spent $14 million US just drilling and searching. And if the prospectus is not good, they will not stop long time. And you hear what the BBC said a while ago? It's a prize worth going after. So why? Why? It's all secrecy. Nothing wrong with that. This is not the first time we always try to look for oil. PJ come and tell us, Porsche come and tell us and say we are on the south coast, we're searching for oil, and based on what we are seeing in the prospectus, we didn't have a mining down a penance that the PJ parties have to stop. Because they were drilling and drilling and drilling, and when you check a start, they were damaging the ecosystem, and what we were getting were paltry. And PJ Patterson stopped it. Tell me who started it up back. Not the labor right. Right now, they find much in Unca gold, and now you don't hear nothing out of the gold mine on a pennant. PJ Patterson tapped the gold mine in 2006. Because what the government were getting at the time was not substantial, and PJ said this don't make no sense, and the labor right them come and start it up back, and we don't hear nothing but no mining. Upon YouTube we hear it and we see one piece of gold may be about 40 or 50 pounds, and until put there that reverse tell us up his story.
Work program. The planned work program is designed to further de-risk the multi-billion barrel potential identified through 2 key pieces of work. The first of these is a piston core survey, which will target specific spots on the seabed to sample them directly for the presence of hydrocarbons. A successful outcome would categorically demonstrate that hydrocarbons are migrating through the offshore basins and would substantially de-risk the presence of a mature, actively migrating source rock. Following on from that, a substantial seismic reprocessing program has been proposed. Recent technological advances could significantly improve the quality of the subsurface imaging on the 3D, and by integrating this with the existing 2D data, provide an integrated product on which to better quantify the follow-on potential, including direct lookalikes to Calibri. United are seeking a partner to fund this low-cost work program and become involved in unlocking what could be a truly transformative opportunity. In summary, Jamaica provides an exceptional exploration opportunity. On the Walton Morant license, we see strong evidence for a working petroleum system and material prospectivity. This is underpinned by favorable license terms, a supportive government, and the potential for a low initial outlay to unlock value in the tens of billions.
You hear that? That are the prospectus from United Island Gas, you know. And you see them put them perspective together for drawing investment so them can have partners so them can able to go in it because it look good. And this government here.
Media and receive WhatsApps and telephone calls in relation to the fake news circulating on social media in relation to the discovery of oil on our shores or off our shores. As Minister, I can categorically state that there's no such thing. It is absolutely fake news. I, as Minister, will be the...
When you hear them or something in Jamaica? When you just hear from the BBC a while ago and United Gas and Oil, and you hear Daryl Vaz?
Media in relation to the discovery of oil on our shores or off our shores. As Minister, I can categorically state that there's no such thing. It is absolutely fake news. I, as Minister, will be the first one to be excited to share any such good news if and when that happens. So until such time as you hear from...
Why am I bring up this, you know? When you hear the people them say they get the license at January 2024. And you hear Daryl Vaz 5 months ago. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. People for wicked but not so.
And telephone calls in relation to the fake news circulating on social media in relation to the discovery of oil on our shores or off our shores. As Minister, I can categorically state that there's no such thing. It is absolutely fake news. I, as Minister, will be the first one to be excited to share any such good news if and when that happens. So until such time as you hear from me, while I'm Minister, disregard all information in relation to Jamaica's discovery of oil. It is just simply untrue.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you have to trust them. Oh, you have to trust them. The people in there here and them a mine and them a dig and them a mess around the fault line and you have this whole heap of tremor. The people them spend their money and get them 2-year license for dig and find gold. The people them make arrangement with you and say, all right, when we dig and we find enough oil, 40% are for the people of Jamaica and 60% are for we. And them sign off on a 2-year and you have a minister where give the people in the license. For when you look at the footage, you see my shake hand. And have the art to talk about fake news. Labor right and a good something. Labor right and a good something. User, let me tell you how me work. You see when you fuel speculations, you give the labor rights traction. We have a candidate selected for East Portland. We have an attorney at law. We have a candidate who is a winner. People's personal lifestyle have nothing to do with me. Because Daryl Vaz has no moral authority to speak. Because the PNP have one conference in a Port Antonio. And them have 2, East and West, plus them imported people from all over. You hear me say to you? Plus them imported people from all over. And our school and put it now. And the two constituency plus the imported people couldn't. So, you see, when we come and we are campaign, we're not in a whole attacking. We're not in a whole attacking because a one word me have for Daryl Vaz. Comrades, we have a doctor. We have a son of the soil. We have an MP that live in Port Antonio. And he died in the line of duty while was a sitting MP. I want you to take time out for a minute of silence for Dr. Linvale Bloomfield. We also had a young lady, 17 years old, who attended the all-white school on Constant Spring Road in 1983. Should be like 16 now or something like that. Her name is Diane Smith. Also have a word of silence for her. When you hear people talking, you must always do less talk. When you do less talk, you silence your critics. You have some people who have no moral authority. Diane Smith. When you have a winning candidate, people is going to come. The naysayers is going to come. They're going to cast aspersion. They're going to say all sort of things. But let me tell you something. When you live in a glass house, don't throw stone. You hear what I'm saying to you? When you live in a glass house, don't throw stone. You have some who open their mouth, and them shouldn't be the last person to talk because they have no moral authority to spice that Buchanan. Continue to be the standard bearer. Continue to do the good work for the people of East Portland. Them shut down Boston Jerk, and it take you to go up there, and you is not yet the MP. Pumping the little resources that you have to get the thing up and running so they can be able to pass and certified by the public health inspectors. Continue to champion the cause for the residents and the community of East Portland. Hold the head high, hold up the banner. Because people can only chat, and when they chat, they must know how they chat for themselves. Have worse as skeleton because there is no proof of the allegation. But we have proof. And we don't know what argument with them. No chattings. So we're done with the Portland segment. We don't know what talking. We don't talk what we talk already. And we rest it this up. I've seen a clippings where labor rights are circulating. I don't know if it is recent, where Eastern Westmoreland coming up in the furrow that they now vote unless they remove the Gen Secretary. I have a news for you, Eastern Westmoreland. You alone, you only have one vote. We only have one leader at a time. And the leader has spoken. And the leader has solidified that Dr. Dayton Campbell will be the standard bearer and the candidate for Eastern Portland. And look at the timing. You're not a comrades. You have been infiltrated by the labor rights. It's not every constituency you can have a delegate run off, you know. Because the truth of the matter is in every contest, you are going to have a loser. And sometimes where you have a contest, it makes the situation worse. Because worse again, if that person that lost by a nail biting finish, you will never have peace in that constituency. So the proper thing to do was to step in and make a decision where both sides can come together and agree and say, all right, it's not the best choice, but anything at all the leader said. If you give in to blackmail, then you have Western St. Mary, said them the one Harville. Then you have Southwest St. Andrew, said them the one Dr. Burke. And it go round and round. That demonstrate a weak leader. Rally behind and fall behind the leader. In the interest of getting out the Jamaica Labour Party, every single comrade, no, it's not the time. If you want to talk about enough, what, go to hell. No, it's not the time. We have settled on all candidate selection. Why now? Labour right pay you. If you come create chaos and confusion in the camp, go to hell and take your vote elsewhere. Two comrades don't do that. Was there any quarrel in the video? Yes, there is. What do you think? Although you see Christ that walk up and down on earth and I feed the whole heap of people them and answer that thing, and I walk up and down with the 72 disciples, when it takes them have it easy? No. You have the doubtful Thomases. You have those who walk up and down and try to follow him up for the fish and the bread and answer that thing. You have some of them that wonder if it's real. You have some of them that doubt him. You have some of them are liar. You have some of them are traitor. You have some of them that just follow him up for the fish. Christ himself never have it. And what pass him talk? Rally around the leader. Because if you give in and you move that person, it is going to replicate and go right round and mash up the party, and that is what the objective of the Jamaica Labour Party is, and nothing more to infect. We will not give in. Candidate selection sign off any moment now under the pressure. When December 6th come and the court go tell Andrew say go and go declare a defense and tell the Jamaican people and the Integrity Commission how you come by your riches and fling it out. He left with no alternative but to call an election. Because the economy is slated to another further growth. From the July to September quarter, you have 2.8% negative growth. So the next quarter will be 3.5, and then it's a recession, and the government left with no choice but to call an election. So we have to be ready. You hear me say to you? We have to be ready for the labor right of state resources where they might walk around and buy vote. We're not for them. And people like Uno that take the cash into the public are vulnerable and susceptible to bribes. So what if you don't vote? Go ahead. Go ahead. It's not a comrade. It's not every decision will be a popular decision. But some decision you have to step in, because it's not every contest. For me look and the comrade leader look and say, well, if we have a runoff, the constituency is going to be split because somebody is going to lose. They're going to be a bruise, they're going to be a contestant, and both sides will be feeling hurt. So you put an end to it and you stepped in and said, okay, this is it. Rally around the leader. And those who can rally around the leader, go to hell. This party is bigger than all of us. It never named Bussaman to party And the People's National Party never included Norman Manley. So when you hear Norman Manley, you're serving well. It says the People's National Party. It belongs to the people, not to Portia, not to PJ, not to Mark Golding, but the people of Jamaica. Rally around the leader. We don't want to hear it. You have an issue. You don't bring it in public. We're done with selection already. So those who did that quietly ablaze the flame, whether Labour right or the losing candidate or whatsoever, rally. You want to give Labour at the seat, you go and give him. But you have to stand firm as a leader. In everything, you only can have one leader at a time. This noble institution, which is the People's National Party, is bigger than all of us. You only can have one leader at a time. One. We don't want to hear it. It's not every decision you're going to agree with. It's not every decision going to be a popular decision for you. So I say to you, sometimes we vote, we don't necessarily vote for the candidate of a choice, but we vote for the leader. Rally around the leader. Some of the MP, them what we vote for, yes, then that make sense. But when you know, say, I'm not true, them make you vote for the leader. Rally around the leader. Anybody right now? Welcome farm and little cliche and then this and then little that and talk about them no want this and then no want that. No, it's not the time for that. You must get the thing ready. We reached too far for turn back. In a 2020, People's National Party were desecrated. And we have a leader who not try to fix the machine and fling it out. I'm bringing a brand new machine, well-oiled, working, clip, everything. No, it's not the time. So if you don't want to come on the train, hop off.
We are stepping, yes. Stepping into progress. We are stepping. So let's join our hands together. We are stepping again. Foreign influence, we are stepping against all violence.
We are stepping. For we see that we say that we are fight a one-man band. We are fight a government who corrupt the whole system. We are fight a government who corrupt the private sector organization, even though them corrupt from day one. Because the organization was created to counteract Michael Manley government in 1978, which is the PSOJ. So we don't expect anything better from them. But what is silent and what is unacceptable, and I can't believe my eyes, is the deafening silence from Jamaica for justice, the deafening silence from the church, the deafening silence from civil society, the deafening silence from the trade union, except for the lone voice in the lone wolf, Daniel Archer and Ralston Iman. No, it's not the time. And we see that we are fighting a lone race. And regardless of that, 14 of us, and we are operating like we are the 49. And our message is connecting. Our message is resonating. No time to look back. No time right now for distraction. No time to lost on the gains. We must keep on the momentum. We must keep the fire burning. Fall in line. No time to look back. No the game.
We are fighting for a cause. Stand firm. Our country they're trying to sabotage. Stand firm. Yeah. In slavery days, my poor brothers couldn't rest.
People like Uno, when you go to the election day, you go around and you look and you see the 150,000 as indoor and outdoor agent, you get frightened and you take it and you sell out the whole PD and it run and you do a sort of thing. Stand firm! Because the action where you do today, the $150,000 where you name tomorrow, you may not live forget it. Because the level of crime and unemployment and poverty and inflation, it all got done. Vote for your government that can create an opportunity for your child. Vote for your government who can lift that family and send them to university so that they say the stand up, look, in 50 years from now. For when them get the 510,000, they say nah, give nothing because they spend the millions and run the election and they can't get it back. The advisor that try to run from Portland for him admit the fact saying can't win a fair election. Every time election I come, him up here spend millions. So they want to run down a northeast. So when you don't take the money, there are consequences for every action. And I say to you tomorrow when you go in, look out on the corner of your eye. They will come with the 10, they will come with the 20, the 50, the 100,000. Don't take it. Send a message. Make them go in them conference Sunday dejected and feel hopeless and make them know say that the People's National Party is ready. Some of you too licky. Stand firm.
Our pregnant mothers, they guide them in a stress. Stand firm. We are one family. Stand firm. Stand firm against our enemies. Stand firm. Yeah.
Look how this government, they are wicked too now. Needs is opening, needs is alive and well, needs is open for business, and one pound not even know that the post office is ready and waiting for you to register on the needs. The same needs that the PNP character code and tell you that you can't come and impose and infringe on the rights. How can you sign up for needs when you have a minister of energy can tell you that nothing is safe in Jamaica, who can go in at the PICA website and he is not in charge of passport and immigration and can tell you about the details and everything? Or you have to sign up for that, where somebody can have your DNA, your blood type and everything. So when you check a stat now, somebody want a kidney, then know say your blood type is so and so and so. And then know when to find out when you locate when you check a stat now, you come from work, somebody kidnap you and gone with you because you have a particular blood type and they want it. You can't work with that in this government here because nothing is safe. We not against a national identification system, but what they are putting out there, it is too intrusive. Too intrusive. Strengthen the ID, strengthen the voters' ID, strengthen the TRN. So you have a single ID card because you already have all of them out there. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't believe in it. Where you walk with the TRN, your NIS and your ID, have one single number. Be it the TRN number. Put a picture upon it, put the ID upon it. Put a fingerprint, because your fingerprint already out there and the voter's ID. That is enough. You're not supposed to talk about no special details about an organ type and an organ donor and this and that. You can't take them the chance to honor this government here. Cannot. So for your information, the need shop is open, alive and well. And what this government have planned for do now is to use the most vulnerable as the guinea pig. Those are on path and those on the social pension and those who live and depend on the government for survival, they are going to be the guinea pigs. And those who have to get government assistance, such in the event of a disaster, you have to take needs this and now get the aid. And that is what we have to talk about. We have to talk about a cast and a yeah and a ray. We have too much things to keep the fire burning. We have come too far to turn back now.
Spreading propaganda, they only want to destroy us. Their only intention is to separate us.
Stand firm. No room for separation. No room to divide us. Divided army can't win war. Stand firm. Who can fall in line, fall in somewhere else, anywhere tell them allegiance lie. Because a true comrade always fall in line. Follow the leader.
Against colonialism, stand firm. Against imperialism, stand firm. Yeah. We are stepping, stepping into progress. We are stepping. So let's join our hands together. We are stepping against foreign influence. We are.
So make we go back to the business now. Only what we circle the part there, we deal with the part there and the message sound. So we can be able to move on. We have no time for that right now. We have reached too far to turn back. We could go back to the business of people getting rich at the expense of our environment. People are getting rich at the expense of our environment and damaging the ecosystem. Earlier this week, Hope Garden flooded out. What caused it? The sinkhole and Jacksonville where used to take the ordinary runoff water, take it out to the underground sources or whatever. All of those are flooded up. All of the limestone and all of them things they were used to do there. All of them they move and build housing development up at Tavistock. Darryl Vaz is one of the CEO up Jacksonville's. And went up there and in bill without approval. And at the end of it, what happened? Eh?
Special welcome once again to our viewers on onespotmedia.com.
Up first this evening, a major residential development in Jacksonville, St. Andrews is under scrutiny this evening after a large section of the hillside collapsed onto the Tavistock Terrace main road. leaving residents furious.
And when TVJ News went digging, we were shocked to find out that the land has not been approved for development by the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation.
Now, Kelly Williams visited the area today and filed this report.
At first glance, this looks like a treacherous trek on a path in the middle of nowhere. But from above, you can see the bigger picture. This is actually the main road in Tavistock Terrace in Jacks Hill, St. Andrew.
A half of a hillside has come down and blocked Tavistock Terrace totally. It will take weeks and hundreds of truckloads to move.
We were told the hillside collapsed into the road a few weeks ago since contractors started to prepare the land for development, and the recent heavy rains made things worse.
My fear runs very deep that if the soil moves this way, sooner or later, I am at Temple Meads, where I live there, and sooner or later, it will get to me.
The dramatic change that has occurred has really been unbelievable. It has affected our quality of life, our ability to transport ourselves and move around. We just cannot understand what is going on. There doesn't seem to be any response from anybody.
While the land slippage is a headache for residents, it's the nature of the development that is causing the most disquiet. We were told the land is being prepared for the construction of apartments and townhouses.
We have to look at the geology of this area. This entire side is old landslides, which we call colluvial material, which is loose material, and it is not suited for building. And many years ago, a similar developer tried something and the entire hillside came down.
4 massive developments, maybe even before 6 months, 4 massive developments. One that you can see up in the sky, that's almost completed. One that is further down, which cut away the whole of Tavistock Terrace and has blocked it for the last 6-7 months, just being rebuilt. A new one that is starting very close to my residence, and this one that is the instance now of the problem.
About an hour after our news team arrived in the area, a standoff between the residents and the contractor, who insisted they're only digging the hillside to do a soil test. Soon after, a team from the municipal corporation arrived in the area, much to the surprise of residents who said they have written several letters to the corporation. When we spoke to the city engineer, we were surprised by what he told us.
This proposal or development is still being processed, so there is no approval being granted for any development at the...
When I hear them as something, huh? This was when Feda was the mayor for KSAMC. The land when I built pan with Daryl Vaz built 4 skyscraper up at Tavistock Terrace was not granted for approval. You want it? Yes, sorry for the intervention, the comrades. The land, the development, one of the building actually complete, and it by approval not granted for you. Hear what the town clerk said? There was no approval and the approval is still pending. So what me I try to show you now, and then at the same breath, prior to that, the Prime Minister got overly expand down at Clifton and lick down poor people house and say, gangsters over there sell house. And at the same time, he lick down the people house and take the land and sell it to Michael Leachin. 2,000 acres. And Leachin said, I'm going to do farming. 2 years later, in try to apply for change I used to build house. So everybody, except for the ordinary people of Jamaica, suffer because the labor right them do as them like. Daryl Vaz built house up in the hill without approval. One of the building nearly complete, then block out the road for nearly 7 months. So what I try to show you is the impact of the ecosystem, because them full out the whole of the limestone and the sinkhole and the whole of them. When the water run off of the hill now, because it turn a concrete jungle, it run right down a Hope Garden and flood out Hope Garden. So the whole system what me talk about now is the whole ecosystem, where them destroy the environment, them do as they like, them tell the people them say no mining now go on, them a dig up and them a drill and a drill and a drill and a interfere with the fault line, which is the seismic shift in terms of earthquake. So that's why we have so much flooding and earthquake. Labour right now show no regards for the environment. And on top of that now, the Prime Minister come tell about nuclear. Again, it's going to destroy the environment. Even though a clean energy, but where you going to put the nuclear fuel reactor? Where you going to put the waste?
At the site in the background.
So what is happening here then is illegal?
Yes, so what is happening here shouldn't have been taken place without the proper approval.
According to the city.
Yeah.
According to the.
What is happening here at Tavistock with the house them at Darrellville shouldn't build without the approval. So in go up in a Jackshill and build the whole heap of house them, but why people not pay no mind? Because the rich people war. And this was when Feda did it. So every building and approval, it happened on a Feda watch. When Mark Barnett from NWC approved the 1 bedroom and then turned in a 2 and 3 bedroom, it happened on a Feda. When Juliet Owens a cut road in the woman yard, it happened on a Feda. Nobody have no regards to the environment. Nobody have no regards for law and order. How can you put these people back in office where only cater to themselves when the Prime Minister wife said she married, she couldn't even keep fish fry, and 8 years later, she built 1 complex for $800 million. Where they get them the money from? Eh? When you're married, you could have barely. Eh? And then all of a sudden,
so soft. When you think about foundations for houses in there, or buildings of any description, you've got to think about what you're building them on and how safe that would be. So in other words, if you load a slope, can that slope fail just because it gets wet? And even worse if we get a small earthquake, or even a large earthquake.
We were made aware of the situation over the weekend. Officer was here on Monday to issue a cease work notice on the clearing of the land, and we come here this morning to ensure that the notices were complied with. Currently, the permit is still being processed at our office. So what's taking place now is the creating of an access road to enter the top of the property. After we have issued the cease work notice, the developer reached out to us to indicate that he wanted to access the property to do a borehole test so that they could finalize the engineering design. But no approval was given for any development at this point.
So the collapse of the road or the landslide was caused because of the cutting of the access road?
Yes, the cutting of the access road, the debris from the cutting of the access road would have rolled down to the roadside and caused the road to be impassable.
Professor Simon Mitchell, Professor of Sedimentary Geology.
I wanted to listen to Professor Simon Mitchell. He's in charge of the seismic and the geology of the University of the West Indies. And when he says seismic and geology, they are the one that give you the reading from earthquake. They are the one who can tell you whether or not the building, you have any building, it is suitable, and they test soil and soil erosion and the topography and all of those where have to do with soil science. And I want you to listen carefully. He's going to expound and tell you that the 4 skyscrapers were built, the land is not sturdy. It's not suitable for build on it for limestone. I want you to listen.
I do loads of other things, mapping and things like that as well. The Department of Geography and Geology at UWI. You see, they should have put a retaining wall in before they did things. This is part of the problem if you're doing this. And you can see that the rocks down there are actually the same sort of thing, the same sort of soils. These are weathered granitoid rocks, these sort of things coming down here. And this whole area is going to be built like this. So you can actually see the whole slope here is made out of these sorts of rocks. So all of this is potentially landslide material. The trouble is that these rocks, there's two problems with these rocks. Number one, that this is a big fault zone. So with these rocks, they're faulted, they're broken up.
And you hear the word, big fault zone. You know what is a fault zone? A fault zone is a zone where the soil is susceptible for earthquake. Any little tremor, any little movement, the full skyscraper where Daryl Vaz put up there come tumbling down.
They're sheared up, so they're initially weak. Then, because we live in the tropics and you've got hot weather and you've got rainfall, what happens is the minerals in these get changed to clays. And so the whole lot becomes unstable. And so what you have is an unstable slope. Now, as soon as you cut into that slope, what you end up with is failures. And those failures are what is going to be the problem. So in other words, if you cut a road into these sort of things, this stuff will fail.
Yeah. What kind of country this we are living in? A banana republic. And all of this, the KSAMC pass it. As a matter of fact, the KSAMC not pass it in bill before him get approval. So we have seen the end product. So if you get a good 6.5 earthquake, all of that will come tumbling down because the rock bed, which is the foundation, is not stable. What kind of country this we are run? What kind of country this we are run where our government look out on them one another and are in a circle? Everybody turn millionaire. All of who go in a parliament now have nothing. Everybody come out rich. These are the things we must talk about. These are the things we will a building we put up. People are give approval for 1 bedroom. When they take a start, them a rob the city of the revenue. It turn in at 2 and 3. People are built per side when they're suitable for bill. And the prime minister have the heart. Him and his wife. But anyway you see gully, and anyway you see it, a comrade live there. Yeah? And we have a lot of earthquake. Eh? 1 year, June 18, 2024, an earthquake of a magnitude 4.3 was felt at 5:46. July, 1 month later, July 16, 2024, an earthquake of a magnitude of 3.7 was felt at 5:46 again. September 10, 2024, an earthquake of a magnitude of 3.5 was felt. September 12, 2024, 3.1. August 16, the biggest one, 5.3. August 24, days later, 4.5. November 10, 2024, 6.5, which is the greatest one. Surprising, you don't really hear much about that. Maybe I try Watch Riot. I know that Watch Riot hotel and then build proper. And again, since we can have a next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 earthquakes in a 1 year. We're not used to them thing, man. So you mess with the fault line. And you're not telling the Jamaican people because of the perspective of drilling for oil and ass at a thing. It interferes with the fault line. How can you trust a government like that? Who are not telling the Jamaican people the truth and put everything in the dark. So this is why they're doing these things. This is why they're doing these things. They're not telling us the truth and kept us in the dark. And have the heart to come tell you if we forgive them and talk about shower labor right. When they talk about the economy, and when we talk about it and tell us that the economy now grow, I am so glad that Wayne Henry finally admit the fact that the economy has declined by 2.8% for this quarter. Right? So when you take a start now, it consolidates what we were saying all along. Two different types of Jamaica. And we can't afford to give in anymore and allow this liberal government to come and continue to suck the blood out of the Jamaican people. And then you blame us and talk about PMPism and PMP this and PMP that. Eh? Crime is at an all-time high. You promise us to sleep with the window and your door open. And instead fix the problem.
If you want to be able to fall asleep and let the door open, and wake up in the morning and still be alive, you cannot make the mistake of putting the game. So the Labour Party makes another commitment to you. Unlike the PMP, who say nothing can be done about crime, the Labour Party don't share that view. We believe that there is a lot that we can do to solve crime in this country. There is a lot that we can do to bring down murders in this country. There is a lot that we can do to make you safer in your house and in public spaces. It is not.
So, what went wrong now? What went wrong? What went wrong? You promise to sleep with the window and with the door open. All of a sudden, it becomes a PMPism. All of a sudden, we no longer hear any reporting about crime. You try to cover it up. The police no longer give out anything at all about crime. You give the police order for shoot and then ask question. I'm saying to every ghetto people, invest in a camera. For we say what happened out of East Kingston. See the policeman shoot himself in his own foot and talk about, say, a shootout. Imploring every single one of you. The technology gets so advanced every day. Gone are the days when they have this big old camera put up at the corner of your house and people see it and threaten you and tell you to take it down. You don't need that. You have them so tiny, you can put in a flower spot, you can put some little secret spot at your house. Invest in a hit and capture everything. Nobody now know say you're dead. I have it dead. Nobody. You have somewhere can blend in like in a little flower spot. You have somewhere can put right at your window. You have somewhere can put in a bulb in a picture frame. Invest in it. And we have seen the result from it. For if it wasn't for that camera out of East Kingston, those 3 young men, none of them the past 21-year-old, is no longer amongst the living because of the wickedness of this government who have endorsed it. Try to eliminate our young men and talk about solving crime that don't solve anything. For what you build is hatred. Invest in capability in terms of technology. So when you hold a criminal and when you put the science and the refutable evidence before him and him liar left with no choice but to take a deal. Why are you not doing that? Eh? When you no come on crime scene, all you do is walk around and take up spent shell. If you see one bubble gum, nobody no take it up. If you see one button, nobody no take it up. When you see one juice box, one slippers, even vomit or spit, nobody swap it or do anything at all. For tie the criminal to the crime scene. And also crime solve. People always get broken into an appliance, gone and police ask people, why you miss? You have the serial number. It don't make no sense, but you go on. If you not even have a fingerprint, the good old fashioned fingerprint duster to take fingerprint, and you come with book, and you too long on, and I ask people why you miss. You're not ready yet. You're not investing in a crime. Police station and people now no police now no vehicle. Taximan if you carry them on crime scene, endanger the taximan for people who say the taximan are informal work with police. You're not ready yet. So if you walk around and analyze youth and check that are going to solve the problem, that only bring more hatred. create the framework so when the youth them see the opportunity between the pros and the cons and what is wrong from what is right, and they make a sound advice. If they choose to go the other way, that is their path. But strengthen the laws. No amount of 50 year or 100 year now go work. Because when you look and see, the issue is the probability of getting caught. And if you know that, under the current system what we have, through the superintendent for the era one look good, in ball out the name, John Brown, Mary Jane, Tom, Dick and Harry, you wanted person of interest, turn in. Because within 48 hours, me know very well saying I have no evidence, nobody now come find me out. Within 48 hours, you have to let me go. But you're tired for do that now because I can't tell you, every shooting I go on at John Brown name call pan it. So by trying to analyze him, you're going to solve the problem. No, it don't work that way. The law said you must follow due process, even though it may allege that him do so and so, but you must prove it beyond a reasonable doubt and time to the scene, or she to the scene, that they in fact commit the crime, and the evidence must be there, not just word of mouth. So work on the police investigating capacity in terms of solving crime. Not saying they are agile. But what happened in East Kingston were cold-blooded murder. And if it wasn't for the camera, those police wouldn't have been arrested. As a matter of fact, they were arrested before the DPP rule. And that's supposed to send a strong signal now to the death squad, especially in Western Jamaica, where you have a death squad unaliving youth in Western Jamaica. That not solve nothing because it bring more hatred. So make we get back to the economy. Right? The economy is in a shamble. People are suffering. People are hurting. People can't buy food. And when we talk all along and said, where is the growth? Surgical revenue down by 40%. With Cinco, them depend on expansion more than them have literally have to put it back and set it back because them say right now the economy contracted, it's soft. Because people don't have the disposable income to spend. Remittance down and it's going to get worse with Donald Trump come in. People are going to hold on for the liquor what them have. So the remittance are going to cut literally right down to zero. Because you can't give it in terms of uncertainty. You don't know what tomorrow may bring. So it's going to get worse. The barrel will usually normally come on and something that now going to come neither. So all this at Christmas here, we don't nobody look for the barrel and then sitting there. Luckily if it start pack already, fine. But the new one normally don't pack within a day or two. No look for that. Because we know very well, say half of Jamaica, as a matter of fact, more people live outside of Jamaica than that live within Jamaica. And we know within itself, say, a good percentage are undocumented. But a survival is a game. And that's how it go. And it will hurt the economy. And if tourism arrival for this winter tourism season has not picked up, then we're going to see the rippling effect. For the workers have started to strike for more money. So you know that some of the hotel right now, them just have put up the best show. After the financial year, they will make some serious adjustment as whether or not they're going to keep that a number of staff because the income and expense gone up. The government have no money. For running the country for 2 consecutive months, the government have to be floating back. Make some for 2 with a 7% interest rate and it run it for a month. Them now float it for not 3 and 4 months, you know, month by month. And what they are doing is buying time. So when tax time comes in, it is February, March, and the kitty pull up back again, then can be able to run with it. And then hopefully within that time now, then park out the money and set it aside for the sparks and the bowler work and call election with the intention that they can keep them in office. And I am saying to you, look out for these things. Look out for these things, right? So when them come in them 5 and them 10 and them 15,000, run them. Because you're going to sorry. Because anything at all you buy, and that's what you get. And they say they bought you. Them no business with you because them have to spend millions and them barely couldn't win. And if them never show out their money, and that shouldn't be representation, it shouldn't be about barter or soul, but it's about the work of the people and representation and level. So people life can be of good standard, good road, basic infrastructure. No make nobody come tell you about no road and them duty. Basic infrastructure like public utilities is them duty. Don't make nobody tell you nothing. And I am saying to you, comrades, when you go out there tomorrow, think on all of what I've said to you. And imploring you, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell everybody to go out. Don't look at it as a local government election, but it is going to send a strong message. Send the labor rights into them conference for them busy now, you know. Busy right now. In a Eden Town and Maran Bay right now. I shoot money in the night for they say them coming now. Night then come. Chicken a give out left, right, and center. Fertilizer a give out. Feed a give out. That is just a short-term memory because the same chicken where you get right now, by the time you're ready to kill the chicken then, you can't get no market feed because nobody now work. The cook shop I used to take from you, nothing now go on, nobody now buy no food. The jerk man I used to take, nobody now buy. The people who used to take from you and buy. Everybody over for 1 and 2 chicken. All because of your fault, because you take their money and you keep them in office for another 4 years. Vote with the head. Vote with your head. Vote with your conscience. Look at your life. Look at your children. In some community, some people not working. You know. Some district, nobody in the district not working. Some road in the corporate area, 1 or 2 people at work. The economy is in a bad shape. And because like people like me and others who did have to keep on and let them know, let the people of Jamaica know that what the government were doing, as a matter of fact, it is effective. It is effective because they're no longer talking about the macroeconomic and the fiscal outlook and the unemployment and all sort of thing. Them turn from gutter politics and talk about PMPism and I blame the PMP and then roll out FinSec and check it to work and then roll out that. Nobody no longer talk about the growth and the achievement because all along you can't fool everybody. Make it be known as a disclaimer. I am not an economist. I wasn't trained for that. But I read and I read with understanding and I understand economics. So make sure I put it out there. I am not a trained economist. I am not an economist by birth or school or whatsoever. But I read and I understand economics. And that people like we that put it out there and make the government know. Say what them a do a voodoo and it now work. So gone are the days when I used to talk on road and infrastructure and macroeconomic and remittance up and remittance down and this and that. Not no go so. And we have a finance minister who run gone left the problem and the people of Jamaica poor flavor. I don't know how she gonna manage. I don't know how she gonna manage, but she's supposed to hurt her.
VTV with a lot of interesting topics and videos. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel.
I don't know how she gonna manage.
Dr. Nigel Clark for a post at the International Monetary Fund, IMF.
One financial analyst believes the move has created a national crisis for Jamaica.
Now, Dr. Clark is set to take up the new post on October 31.
Several high-ranking officials, including heads of government, have been hailing the appointment of Dr. Nigel Clark to the IMF. But for Ralston Hyman, financial analyst and founding member of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC,
Nigel Clark's appointment with the IMF has precipitated a national crisis.
A national crisis partly because of unfinished business. The central bank is projecting a decline in the Jamaican economy for this fiscal year due to the impact of Hurricane Beryl. The Jamaican dollar is losing value. The population census is incomplete, and the multi-billion-dollar fraud at Stocks and Securities Limited SSL remains unresolved.
Nigel Clark is also leaving an unfinished budget. He hasn't told us where the 45 billion in securitization to fund the road program will be coming from yet. So he has precipitated a national crisis because he is departing suddenly, leaving on October 21st, 31st, without any real successor within the party in order to carry on the work. And Prime Minister Andrew must be scratching his head as to see what is he going to do to fill that post.
On Monday, the Office of the Prime Minister said the government has identified successors to Dr. Clark, so there will be a smooth transition.
So that is it. The finance minister run gone left a hole in the budget. They go take 45 billion and all now we can't tell you where it go come from. What they them are trying to win vote and then sell out the airport head tax for 12 years. And then take part of the money and say them are give out $20,000 to tax rebate and check say that to not help. And when they check a sack, it becomes a disaster because most of the people who apply feed, them employer now pay over the money one time and therefore them ineligible and not get it. And that was a disgrace to the government. Them check say the reverse tax credit would be a good thing and say, yes, Andrew Brogard are the real thing. It becomes a disaster. Because no fault of their own, when them try to claim the money, them can't get it because them employer not send over the money on time or not paid none at all. And it was no fault of the people because it come out of them pay. So that's why the sparks can't spark. Present as I speak, the police threatened today and said them have to meet with the finance minister because the overtime what them agreed to, all know nobody can get paid. Pika threatened what they have to strike because the restructuring what they do what they are, it put people in a worse situation. Who just come in at the work and get more paid than who did it 10, 15, 20 years ago. So the budget now all. And when we talk now, labor rights say with this and labor rights say with that, because the truth of the matter, the economy is in a bad shape. The start of the year, Jamaican dollar at $152 and $156 now. People can't buy food. One time gone $5,000 bill when they can't go shop. People don't want it because can't buy nothing. $5,000 now. Can you imagine? Can't shop. You're going to spend $5,000 for cook. You get back all $200-$300. Eh? Hmm? People are suffering. When you talk and you tell people, oh, you're going to survive. And it is further projected that the economy are going to decline by another 3.5%. Hmm? Monty Perkins said there's a hole in the budget, dear Flaval. There's a hole in the budget, dear Flaval. There's a 45 billion hole in the budget. Fill it, Flaval, fill it. Fill it, Flaval, fill it. 120,000 youth to be trained by art. Where are they? Fill it, Flaval, fill it.
No, me learn, we don't.
That's it. That is it, Kojak. There's a hole in the budget. Beryl made the hole get bigger. the downturn in the economy, where the government has lost 32 billion in revenue because of the decline in the economy. So every month, the load I get bigger. It's not so easy, Mama Liza. It's not easy if you cut the budget with a stick. We have a hard task when we form the next government. The country is broke. The net international reserve has dwindled right down. Million. I try to catch up the economy. The only way you can have a stable exchange rate is when your domestic produce and you have a strong output. We imported too many things. So there is no way at all the exchange rate go stable because the 80 cents out of every US dollar we earn from tourism go back to foreign. So the only remittance what we get and 100% stay at Jamaica is true remittances because it go towards the day-to-day living, pay light bill, go to hospital and buy food. We not get nothing from mining. So how you're going to have a stable exchange rate? So that's why every month you go to the supermarket, the things raise. Every month the light bill raise because there's a component in the light bill. April 1, 2025. So when you hear the labor rights, them and the wicked people, them attack, Mark Golden, where is your plan? We can't make the plan. The only plan we can tell you as a government in waiting is to fix the mess. That's what this government created right now. To fix the hole in the budget. They have done it already in 2007 when we turn over, when mash up the economy. Wreck it in 2007, between 2007 to 2011. And they moved the debt to GDP from 107% to 145%. They get the US dollar at 122, and look where they now, 160. Every time Labour right take this country, they wreck it. So when the disingenuous people are going to talk about, say, what is our plan? Our plan is just to fix it with science. Put up camera everywhere. And by doing that now, you have irrefutable scientific evidence. Where uncontested. When the criminal then go before the court, they're left with no choice but to plead guilty and take a deal. Under the present system, it now work. Where you have eyewitness coming and point out people and all sort of thing. People afraid. Or if you have juror go testify for murder in a taxi and taxi brought down. Or you expect the verdict to go. Eh? Or you expect the verdict to go. People now buy them nice to go out over Portmore in a Wallaba. I have it and witness a murder and once decide to them to do the right thing and I can testify. You put the people in a whole 2-bedroom house, no food, no light, no water, feed the people them crackers and cheese, then life change all over, then can't go back to work, then picnic can't go to school, them have to sell the house. You expect people to come forward and come testify under those conditions? So the criminal will always win. Because they're exposing people and the corrupt system with the police them. When they depend on the witness program and then pushing our house, we in the bush, and we take a start, no light, no dead, no food, no dead, nothing at all. You can't go work again, your life change. How many persons are willing to do the right thing as an honorable system, a citizen, stand up in this country under those conditions? So presently the whole justice system want reform. You can't ask jury to come to court to serve as juror and when you take a start now come preside over a murderer for put him away for 50 years and the juror live down the road down there so he can't even find food. He can't show up tomorrow because he not no taxi fare. Do you expect to get justice? So all we can do is fix it. So government have no intention of solving crime. Because under the present system right now, it not conducive, it not go work. Nobody not go see nothing. Because you there live good. But as thing may be, things may hard, but at least you can find food. You have a nice house, your cable TV and this and that. And you go turn up and see when they murder your neighbor now. And police now. Not only that neither, enforce you, because under the law, you can be charged to accessory to the fact before and after. For all the law work, you know. You know, after that, you know. But if you hear and you don't do anything about it, they can also charge you accessory after the fact. And then put you through the system. You have got gallop left your house. You have got give up your work. You pick them up for tap gas school. I even them not tap gas school by virtue of you not being able to care for them. Them go drop out. How many people come forward? Eh? You don't work with crime the way there. If you deal with it, you deal with it proper and serious, and you put up a proper witness program and say, all right, this is it. We have a third-party agreement with Jamaica, Bermuda, whatsoever. We are going to make you sit on the case, or if it's a local case where you don't have to go far, then must ensure that your safety and everything all right, because it's not every case really warrant that magnitude of security. You understand? For sometimes it can be an ordinary domestic case, two man a fight and, you know, one job the other thing, and a man get a 15 year or 20 year, you know, have to run. But when you have a notorious person you preside over them, how you treat that? So you not serious about crime. So when them come and ask what we are going to do, it's difficult. All we can do is fix the system. And it is going to get worse. For with artificial intelligence, sooner or later, whether you like it, yes or no, all of these jobs, especially Jamaica with the servitude industry, are going to go on. So, comrades, I've said enough, and I think we have touched on the areas. For you know my style already, I like to put out the message out there. I like to highlight, I like to educate and make people know what I want. Especially touch a subject in terms of the economy and how it means and how your life will be affected. Right? Don't be fooled. We have rough days ahead. Rough days ahead. And it is going to get worse before it even gets better. Right? NIDS is alive and well. Whether they like it, yes or no, what they are going to do, they are going to use the most vulnerable and kickstart the NIDS. Those who get paid the part money, they are the first. You can't get the money unless you sign up for NIDS. Those who should get government relief in the event of a disaster, you can't get the money unless you sign up for NIDS. But because you're going into an election and they know that NIDS is an issue, it kind of don't play right now. And I ask about voluntary registration for NIDS. No. We're not against a national registration. We are not against it. But in its present form, with those vulnerable, they're going to left with no choice but to sign up for it against their own will. Come in, Brian, I go. Come on later. Right? And we just come out really to blaze the fire and to keep the fire burning, going into election, come out early tomorrow. Those in the in and town and the Marant Bay division, come out in the numbers. Come out in the numbers. Them busy right now. I issue 5,000, 10,000. Them busy right now I give chicken. Right? Them are going to chicken and then now going to feeding. Don't take it. Avoid it. Because there's a consequence. Every action have a consequence. Every action have a consequence. Send a clear message. Let them go in them conference. Let them go into them conference defeated, dejected. Let them go in a conference and say, boy, the Jamaican people done for me. How can you come talk about a third term when people can't buy food? How can you talk about a third term when people are earning minimum wage and the minimum wage they can't go in at the supermarket and take up something? Eh? Eh? And you have some labor right. You have some labor right. Come and talk about everywhere food this and everywhere food that. We must stop it. Stop compare. Jamaica is the worst place to live. If you notice from time to time, I see it on Instagram and TikTok, where foreigner come here and ask how we do it, how the locals survive. It's a hard place to live in Jamaica. Hard place. Trust me, I tell you. Very hard. So that's why no matter where the people them a ball and a ball and a ball, they now come out. Because when them come up here and them know within themselves, say, if them have $5, them can go in a Walmart and then can go buy them dinner and then can go cook. You can get one pack of chicken breast or chicken wing for $3 and 1 2 pound of rice. And pick up little seasoning with $5 and go cook with it. You can't do that at Jamaica. You can't buy 2 patty and a tasty and a coca bread. So I'm saying to you, comrades, go out there, vote, encourage people to take the local government serious, encourage our comrades. No, it's not the time for any distractions. No, it's not the time for any labor to infiltrate the PMP camp and to turn against each other. We are full speed ahead. We are fighting for our cause. And for 4 years now, the comrade leader on the ground build back this noble institution. We have no time to look back. No time. Right? 8 o'clock, I'm going to leave. I have a little birthday party. I start about 9 o'clock. So 8 o'clock, I sign off and get myself ready. You know, as usual, you know, have a little drink and wish the person happy birthday one more day above earth and think. But we have to do and take time out to send the message, you understand, to get it across in a cohesive manner. Let the people know the real struggle, that it is out there and it is real, right? Don't be fooled. Don't make anybody tell you about shower labor right, and then when you take a stock, you're working. Sometimes that's why you're not getting the productive, because people are not comfortable, and work is where you spend most of your life. And you cannot work, and you work because work's sake. And when you take a stock now, the truth of the matter is you take it out on the employer, and it is just not fair because you're not giving 100% service. Because you feel dejected. You can't buy lunch, right? You cannot buy lunch. You can't pay bus fare, so you feel it. So I want to thank you for one more night for tuning in. Thank you again to keep the message going. And you know, as usual, the word is love. We have to keep the fire burning, comrades. We have to keep it burning. Keep it burning. One PMP.
Spongy God and the Viking of Soca. New time has come. New direction. Mark Golden. Good vibes that he's holding. Yeah. Check it. Clear the way when the big one's strolling. Hey!
Rally round the leader. We only have one leader at a time. Rally round the leader. We have reached too far to turn back.
Golden. Yeah. Mark Golden ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Whoa! Look at the people raising up, the whole Jamaica waking up. Get ready for go with gold, and the man with passion and a purpose. From Kingston straight to Bay. I'm not going in them. Get Getting ready, your hands up. Every Jamaican, put your hands up so. Time from that we know on your mark, set, go, golden, you're ready for the road. Hey, my golden, you're ready for the road. Ha! My golden, yeah, we go with golden, go with golden, go with golden, going golden, we going with golden, going golden, going golden, we ready for the road and we moving with golden, go with golden, go with golden, you want more golden, we got golden, going with golden, go with golden, go with, hey, golden, 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 everybody say the name, golden, golden, everybody say the name, golden, Mark, golden, real, golden, wow, golden, clear out the way when we're strolling. So put your hands up so, every Jamaican, hands up so. Time come that we know, on the mark set go, golden, you're ready for the road. Ha! Golden, we're ready for the road.
Again, Claudia, everybody, John Mikes, Samuel Blair, everybody, we thank you again. So until tomorrow, I think at this time we're supposed to be celebrating and we're supposed to give. I think we get from the graveyard and the night shift. So we're gonna tune out now with our national and with our party anthem.